Let's get it cooking.
Yes.
Us, 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 us. Us, us, us. Us, 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 ussy, us, 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 us.
Right in the ussy.
Yeah.
Had to give the ussy. Give your whole sasa ussy into it.
Yeah, big time.
Well, we are back for another wonderful week, and we have one of our... I can only speak for myself. One of my favorite guests.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
And that's why we love you, Jordan.
That's
That's
there
funny.
he is,
Yeah.
confident.
Yeah.
It's the one and only Jordan Barr in the studio. She was just gobsmacked that we could have a studio like this.
It's
Yeah.
so beautiful
Yeah.
in
Fine
here.
facility.
Yep.
You got a light. You got another light. It's
You
unbelievable.
got lights. We got all sorts of stuff.
We got some kind of like special.
You
shaded
sort of
light.
see that sort of thing in a film studio. You see them. Yeah.
Looks like one of those big MCG lights as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
It is,
Yeah.
it is.
It
Yeah,
is.
the studio is very bright.
It's
if
re-
you can't see it,
Oh, yeah,
we
we can't
have
see shit.
1,000 halogen globes.
Yeah. Well, they were just going to throw
burning
it
into our
out.
retina.
We
Yeah,
thought, fuck it, we'll have it.
we'll have that.
That'll look nice
we
in the
look
studio.
so fucking good on that. It's glowing. Now it's another fantastic week, Zach, and we can't say we're not excited because having Jordan on means we get to, on our long type of fellas
Yeah.
series we've been doing since our return. There's a type of fella that we've ignored, and that's chicks.
Chicks. Yeah.
Because
And it's a huge oversight by us because chicks make up 50% of all fellas.
Exactly.
Yeah, because when it is 23. When we say types
It
of
is
fellas,
23.
it is 23, and it's play on. We can't be put in a box anymore, and it's just awesome because there's types of chicks. An incredible another pathway, but it feels crazy when it's just us two being like, and now this type of chick is fucking weird. So we got Jordan on, our chick specialist.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you really are. In the way that we are like specialists in weird blokes from around the world, you really are like our female counterpart.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're at the cutting edge.
Yeah, you've got your finger on the pulse.
It does sort of, it really does feel like I'm on the other side of the coin, where you guys are looking up like divorced NRL dads who've exposed themselves.
Yes.
I'm on the other side looking up like old Broadway women who've pissed themselves while screaming at someone for being on their phone.
Yeah. And both, and that is a very powerful coin.
Oh my god!
Like both sides, it is the exact same energy, just on the polar opposite spectrum.
Yes.
Like they're so connected in many ways.
Do you like with the fellas, with the types of fellas? Is there, because this is huge in the chicks fellas sphere? Are there like MLMs? Like, is there like pyramid schemes and stuff that come up for boys?
Yeah. Well, all that online coaching, business coaching, and stuff like that. I think that's kind of like the equivalent.
Yeah. Except, instead of like, beauty products, we get like protein and stuff, and it's like predator juice.
Fire up that dick.
Yeah, we've used the gene that uses rhino horn, and it's real rhino horn, but we've built it in a lab. That'd actually
Learn how to fuck your life better.
That'd actually be sick. That because we're all sorry to interrupt, but we are often always trying to come up with money schemes on this podcast.
Yeah, we're trying to rinse.
We've always trying to come up with new business, and I think that is actually exciting. We get into genome technology.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be hard.
Yeah,
It can't be that hard.
There'll be a nerd somewhere willing to get on board.
They did a sheep years ago, and then they stop at the sheep. Come on,
no one ever stops.
Come on.
at the sheep.
Nothing went wrong with Dolly. So
Dolly
keep going.
is fine. So I'm saying we get in there. We start cloning rhinos.
Well, no,
Just for the horn.
Well, I think we start growing rhino horns
Just
on
rhino
sheep.
horn. On sheep, yeah.
Could you isolate? Because you know how they made like mammoth meat in a lab?
Yes.
Maybe we could make
could just
a
do the
rhino
horn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the type of fellas that would buy this,
Cool
they
guys.
probably want to know that we killed the full
Oh,
clone
yeah,
rhino.
yeah.
They're like, I don't want it. Well, I just don't want the horn.
You don't want some horn that's grown in a lab.
Yeah, some horn that's grown in a lab. Yeah, we need
And
the
then the
entire thing grown in a lab. The lab would have to be big.
Yeah. A big
Yeah,
facility.
yeah, I reckon.
It'd have to be pretty big. And yeah. Now I'm starting to think of it. I'm not into it actually.
Well, maybe
I
then,
was just
like-
imagining we would do that. The clone would be a baby at first, and we'd have to rear this beautiful rhino.
And then kill it for your dick.
Yeah, for the dick.
Well, for the
The
dicks
dick
of men
pills.
around the
The
world.
dicks.
What if you just took the horn?
Yeah, that could be. Yeah,
And they
but
love
then we'd
that.
have a lot of rhinos. this operation's getting pretty out of control.
Yeah, it's starting to blow out a bit here.
Starting to blow out. But again, this is the thing.
Well, I think
If you want to be a hustler, like all these videos we get, if
Yeah.
you want to learn how to be business mindset, alpha mindset, these are sort of the things you have to come across.
I love
And that is
shit.
having sort of 1,000 rhinos in your backyard.
Yes.
yeah, well, you got to be willing to commit to
That's
whatever
it.
business.
Whatever
venture.
business,
Yeah.
you've got to commit.
If you draw up the plan, you've got to see the plan out, and if that involves several thousand, white rhinoceroses.
Yeah.
On a, on a
In
20
suburban
acre,
Melbourne.
a 20-acre farm,
Yeah.
outside of Craigieburn.
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
That's what it takes.
If you know where several thousand white rhinos are, you've got to tell someone. We've been
Everyone-
looking for
Yeah,
them.
everyone's like, yeah. I'm like, why does everyone keep going on about it? They're these things.
The fucking cunts are everywhere.
Fucking not been around that back corner of Dandenong. Just roaming free. No one noticed this.
No, I think if we started our own sort of horn supply, the counter to it would be people like selling premium poached horn.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would help the industry.
It wouldn't help. It wouldn't
wouldn't.
help. But look, that's why you got to riff these ideas out. I
Yeah.
thought maybe finally I'd had my big idea. And now I see there's some flaws.
No,
Hey.
another common Hewy L.
So sorry, back to what are you, so you got some MLM girls in your life?
Yeah, well, not directly like related. I will seek them out. I watch a lot of Sister Wives.
What is MLM?
Like mainline
multi-level marketing?
multi-level
Okay.
marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like, do you ever see like girls that you like grew up with or stuff like that being like, I'm just my office for today, and they're always like at a pool,
Yeah.
and then they're like, if you want to get this cool job, like let me know, like the possibilities are endless, like there's no like limit to the amount of money that you can make, but they've all just like got like thousands of dollars in debt, and
Yeah.
they just bought all these products that they're trying to resell to you. The thing that's happening now is called affiliate marketing, where they're
Yeah.
like, you just learn a skill, like you learn how to sew over like a week, and then you set up workshops and teach people how to sew. But when they sign up to your workshops, they have to then start another workshop, and then you make money from them.
It's
Yeah.
so awesome how many times the
Yeah.
pyramid scheme can work. Hey?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like people just keep getting fucked by it. And it's been
Yeah.
around forever. It's awesome.
It'll never die. It's just that's the sign it's a great scheme.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
I feel like I can sniff it out now as well
Yeah.
immediately. Like there was a guy on Love is Blind this season, and when he met his fiance's like father, his dad was like, "Oh, so what kind of work do you do?" And he's like, "I work in sales." And he was like, "Oh, like what kind of salary are you looking at?" And he
Yeah.
was like, "The amazing thing is, sky's the limit." And I was like, "That guy's broke."
yeah.
And he can't get a credit card,
Yeah.
it turns out, immediately.
Fuck, it's awesome.
I love
it's
it.
so exciting. I when I used to work promo jobs.
Oh,
so
hell
like,
yeah.
So obviously, bit of a crossover with the sort of gals that work that job. I remember there was this one girl, and just at all times, I've never seen wider eyes. Just always,
Just
and she
beaming.
and
my
yeah, and
God.
she would do the sell, and then she'd show you a photo, and she's like, "You just get paid to travel the world, experience incredible things." And you're like, this is off. But yeah, she'll always post like photos of her, and it'll be her at a,
One of those like
a pool or
Yeah,
something,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
holding a drink in a bikini, and the eyes are like this, and the teeth are just so bright. And you're like grinting. I'm like, what is happening behind there?
Oh my
This is
God.
exciting stuff.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with the pyramid schemes. Like, there's always someone's doing well.
Yeah, someone at
Like
the
a
top
few,
is
a
good.
few like come out winners.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's really big in like the Hillsong world as well.
Yeah.
because like the girls like got to stay at home with the kids and stuff like that, so they jump in.
Oh, yeah, and
like
they'll believe
whoever
anything,
started
those-
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but then the ones who like start in the church and stuff like that, they make a fucking mint out of it. It's so good.
Yeah.
I love it. And like, there's like a whole world of this is like a type of fella who's a chick. There's
Thank you for using the correct terminology for the type of fella who's a chick. Yeah.
There's this like great world of like vloggers online, family vloggers and stuff like that. I think that if anyone vlogs their family, they should be arrested. Like I think it's so bad.
It should be a look like because the kids
yeah.
can't consent.
Yeah.
We've briefly touched on it, but
Yeah.
we're in the presence of a master.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were famously saying about, the TikTok families, it's not the same as like when there were child stars back in the glory days. Like at least, Michael Jackson, bad stuff, but he's providing something more than a dance in his lounge room with his dad.
Shirley Temple gave it her all.
She really
if she
did.
missed a step, she got hit.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying that isn't not happening in 2023 with these TikTok
that's
True.
This is so true.
Not many TikTok families have a behind the scenes account.
Yeah. Just those thousands of hours of footage for all those docos that coming out now, like the Robbie Williams behind the scenes, thousands of hours. That'd be incredible for a TikTok family one.
Oh man,
in 20 years on Netflix.
It's
coming.
Endless. But these vloggers, they're like the ones in particular that I love. That I love like fundamentalist Christians.
Yeah.
Who are just trying to like spread the word. But there's these girls. There are these two girls. They're sisters. They're both blonde. And also somebody did some research. But somebody did their research and found out that they were actually fully linked to a Nazi officer. So they're like already in the red. But they are they're called,
like genetically.
Yeah, they're bad girls. But they are called Girl Defined. Have you heard of them?
No. Sounds exciting.
They are so good. They popped into the scene about 5 years ago. Just with these like modesty videos, like they would tell you how to dress. And I don't know if you ever saw that TikTok sound that was going around for a while being like, this is how to dress modestly, like pop a skirt over a pair of jeans and put a shirt over your singlet. That was them.
Okay.
Oh, great.
And they also have like, they would have videos as well as being like, what to do when you're boy crazy, but it would just turn into them confessing all this stuff. Like this one girl was like, she was like, I drove past this guy's house 26 times in a night, and every time I did, I would scream so he would hear me. Now that wasn't very godlike. It was like, girl,
is that an example of boy crazy?
Yes. And I was like, you do sound fucking nuts. Like, you can just have a crush on someone. You don't have to like run past their house screaming, hoping they notice you. And then now they're engaged and they're having kids, so it's becoming about family vloggers. But there's this like really unhinged video that goes for about 40 minutes with one of the girls, and she couldn't get engaged until she was like 29. So she's like the fucking like last pick of the litter.
That's bad news in that world.
She's barren,
Yeah.
And she finally found this
Damaged
guy.
goods.
Yeah, he's a few years younger, and like, and he is like I thought. But upon looking at him, I was like, I think this guy might be gay. But who am I to judge? And then it turns out he has been to conversion therapy.
Oh, so he's not gay.
Yeah. So
it
worked.
He's cured.
And he's come out the other side, engaged to a beautiful woman. And this whole video is just them like clenching their fists and like giggling and holding hands. And then like she'll just kiss him on the cheek. And whenever she does, he's literally like,
Recoiling.
Oh, that feels good.
And now all their videos are like them just being
And
like, marriage is hard. Like
Yeah.
So they're still married.
They're still married.
Man, what's the account?
It's called, so the account of the two girls is called Girl Defined. And they still have that whole video up, even though all the comments are like, girl, that man is gay. What's that thing that girls always say? They always comment like, the Nile is a river in Egypt. Denial. They're like, denial.
Oh man. Well, I've gotten a few of those, and I send them to the World Lister guys a fair bit.
Yeah.
Where they keep sending me ones that are like Disney couples that do dances.
I love them.
And the guy couldn't be fruitier.
Yeah.
And they're just obsessed with Disney.
Yeah.
And it's obsessed with Disney World. And this was a type of fella, that's a girl, that's a chick. She is so obsessed with Mickey, like the guy that one of the people that dresses as Mickey.
Wait, the guy or
no, I guess I don't know if it's specifically the guy, but
Just
it's like whoever's in the uniform that day, and
yeah.
she like plots it out, and she's like, hubby knows that, like they get up at like 4 a.m. to get ready.
Hubby knows.
And it's like...
hall pass.
Yeah. Oh, man, it pretty much is. She's like, hubby knows my first love is Mickey.
Yeah.
And shit. And she's like...
There's just some 16-year-old kid railing at his wife behind Splash Mountain.
Yeah. And it's crazy. It's fucked up.
In the Mickey Mouse suit.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Oh, sorry, I can't do it. Wow.
Donald's work in the back. Getting that beak in there.
Goofy's just cucking in the corner.
Yeah.
Getting the gluck.
Yeah, Goofy's giving
Goofy giving that gluck.
Daffy at the back. I mean, that sounds like it would feel nice.
It would be unreal. Donald working that little bill.
Yeah.
He's already got no pants on. He's ready to go.
He's ready.
And she's like, yeah, it's like 8 till 9. Hubby knows that's my private Mickey time and all this shit. And it's so good. She'll do videos where she's like, his one rule is no Mickey stuff in the bedroom. And she's like, but I sneak it in and it'll be like under the bed, like a pair of Mickey hands.
Oh my God. I think I've seen this chick.
It's fucking awesome. It's so good.
I'm obsessed with Disney people, like Disney adults and stuff like that. I'll watch whole videos on YouTube of people like that. You know how they have like hidden Disney, like Mickey heads in Disneyland? They have them in their house for their guests to find and stuff like that.
My God.
And everything is just like these like tacky fucking like memorabilia from the gift shop. And there's this girl, but I do love. Have you heard of Disney bounding?
No.
Okay, this is another type
But
of
it sounds
fella.
fucking awesome, dude.
Exciting.
So Disney bounding is when someone will subtly dress up as a character from a Disney film, but in like outdoor wear, like regular
Just-
clothes.
yeah,
So you wouldn't guess.
It's like a
unless they were
nod
looking- Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
Right,
And
yeah.
so they'll be like, there's this girl from Adelaide called Delaney Jane. And she has this like she has like a British accent, and she's from Australia, and everybody asks her if she's from England. She's like, no, it's just from my singing lessons. And
Yeah,
she would
awesome.
Great.
Yeah,
Awesome.
see.
That's an Adelaide thing as well, though.
Yeah.
They
They-
say dance and
They sound a bit fucked
yeah.
Yeah, they do. That's so true. And she has this like, and she was like, she has this funny little voice, and then she dresses up all the time. And she had this boyfriend who, it seemed maybe he was nice, but like the content that we were getting didn't paint a great picture of him. And then they broke up,
Yeah.
and her like, I'm going as Daffy Duck today, turned into her being like, today I'm going to Disney Bound as Jessica Rabbit, and we're like, oh, she's in her thought era.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Go up! And she started
Revenge.
doing all these like villains and wearing like sexy clothes.
Oh,
And
shit.
the best thing, and I really have a lot of time for her. She will break into song in the middle as well. So she'll be like, I'm going to wear these little earrings. And then she'll be like, ta-da! And it'll cut to it straight away. And it's one of those things where initially everybody was bullying her, and she just kept going, and now everybody's obsessed with her, and she makes so much money on Cameo.
Fuck,
Just like
that's awesome.
doing
Well, that's
those
all just
videos.
other Disney people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I guess Disney's so big that like there's like millions of people around the world who have childhood trauma, and Disney was what was playing in the background.
Yeah.
So they've just been stuck in like a Disney
Yeah.
world for
Yeah.
fucking 40
That's
years.
so
Whatever.
true.
Yeah, it's wild. That is you got to respect the person that pushes through.
Yeah.
And like, because I somehow stumbled across this girl, and she goes on TikTok and stuff, and she's in full elf stuff, and
Wait, is she blind?
No,
it
she's
might
she's in a mental hospital.
Oh yeah,
People,
that's
that comes
I
up
know
a
that
fair
girl.
bit.
I know
She
that
comes
girl.
up a fair bit.
I
I still am in here. Why do you ask, traveler?
She's
and-
kind of so great though.
She's
'cause
awesome.
always
She's, like,
I'm in a
awesome at
mental
it.
hospital because I'm fucking crazy.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then
that's it.
meanwhile she's wearing a fucking elf ears and shit.
I love
And
her.
everyone and like she'll reply. You know that you do the video reply to a comment, and it'll be like, "Damn, craziest nut I've had in a while, but push through or whatever. And she'll be like, why, you cretinous man? Why didn't just spill your seed at me? And I'm like, yes, this is, okay, I now watch 15 videos in a row. Can't say I'm not a fan at this point.
Yeah.
I love those cosplay videos. Oh my God. I feel like I talked to you about this in lockdown. I don't know if you ever saw this TikTok account called Big John.
Oh, Big John's, yeah.
Have you talked about him before on the pod?
I don't know, but it's a bit.
You think it's a bit?
It's a bit. It's 100% a bit.
Someone sent us a Big John clip yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
In the
Oh,
DMs.
get out.
The Minion one with the mum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
Well, who's that woman?
I think
It probably
is
is his mum, but it's contrived for sure. He's done so well because he had me tricked for ages.
Because I dip in and out, and I was fully, until this very moment, I was like, it has to be real. Because there's some videos where I'm like,
Yeah, someone.
I don't know, but her picking up the tissues and like cleaning up his...
No, it's a bit because sometimes
I think he's actually a pretty cool SoundCloud DJ.
Yeah,
or something.
they promote
that they slowly. It's like you can't have your cake and eat it too, mate.
Yeah, well,
you've committed to the character. Don't be putting your cool SoundCloud remixes in the fucking videos.
Yes.
Well, they promote the music, and you go listen to the music, and you're like, oh, this is actually pretty good. And then I saw recently he was like hanging out with Lewis Spears at a show or something. So
Okay, so maybe not a bit. Kidding, Lewis.
That's great. Yeah, he's a weird little freak. He was hanging out with Spears. No, but yeah, it's so well done because I was like, I went back and forth on whether it was a bit or not. And I was like, fuck, maybe it is. And if it is, it's fucking unreal.
Yeah,
His little like yellow baths he has to have, or like his yellow water with like 3 tablespoons of sugar in it.
Yeah, the one someone sent in the DMs. It was fucking good. She was like, the mum's voice is also so perfect. Like, it's really well done.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, whatever his name is having a VR nightclub party. And it's him at the laptop with the VR things. He's like dancing with the boys. Dua Lipa, what a vibe. It's like, fuck. It's a great
It's so sick. I mean, the mum voice might even be him. Like, it could be.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Great stuff.
They really got me going though, because she posted it, because I used to be like, this is a joke, this is a joke. And then it sounds stupid now that I'm saying it out loud, but there was a video of like him sitting alone at a party and like nobody was talking to him, and I was so sad for him. I feel like it was like the same night that I watched one of those videos about how pigeons used to be our friends.
Oh yeah, you brought this up last time.
Oh,
I think it's really stuck with you, which I get.
But it's just like immediately I was like, it's got to be real. Why would you be this sad?
Yeah, the algorithm can get its claws in when they can tell you're vulnerable. Sometimes I think.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that shit. But I feel like there's like, in terms of like types of fellas who are chicks, there's a real like Venn diagram crossover of like fundamentalists.
Yeah.
Like Disney girls and like Disney bound boys as well. And there's something about Disney boys though that gives you like a real eerie feeling.
Well, there's something about all any type of fella that is closely interlinked with the type of fella that's a chick.
Yeah.
You know, when they're too like
so.
you know, like too into that sort of world, you're like, okay.
Yeah, it's too much. And then like the MLM stuff. And sometimes they are all three at once. And it's incredible.
Yeah.
There's a girl on TikTok who was always like, it's my 5 to 9 after my 9 to 5. But it's not another job. She just she lives in Orlando, I think. And she just goes to a different Disneyland after work every day. Just like walks around. And
she goes, there's only one Disneyland, isn't there?
No, there's like in Orlando, there's like Epcot and there's Disney Animal Kingdom.
Right, so there's
all these little
franchises.
offshoots. And she'll be like, and she'll just go there and like eat dinner in one of the restaurants and then come home because she's got like a yearly pass or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like,
they post up their bills of how much money they spend in there, and it's just
I know,
awesome use of money.
Yeah.
Really
and Disney
cool.
Could really use it too.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Thank
need
God.
it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
trying times.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so exciting. I briefly mentioned to these guys, but on the train here, I ran into an awesome type
Oh,
of fella
yeah.
that's a chick.
Love it.
I was sitting behind, so I couldn't get a visual on these two teenage girls, and so they were behind me on the thing. I immediately turned off what I was listening to and then I locked in.
Oh, it's the best. The best.
It's, you know, when you're like, oh God, on the way to the pod, it's like I should have recorded, but I couldn't because in front of me were just these two mortified, like country-looking boomers just over listening these girls, just shock in their faces. They did not say a word to each other, and the girls were unreal. So I was saying to you guys, instead of, you know, being able to call something lame or, you know, what we used to say gay or whatever back in the day at school, they just were calling everything autistic.
Oh God.
They're like, oh my God, Mr. Jones is autistic as, bro. Dead set. No cap. He's fucked, bro. And then they just like, it is like listening to just two dead shit boys, but just girls being like, oh my God, that little chick over there, she tried to bash me, dead set, bro. And I was like, you're fucking tiny.
I love
And then,
it.
yeah, and like, there was one that was going really hard out, and then her little offsider mate, and she was like talking about Leon or some boy she liked, and she's like, give me a look, and she's like, oh, and her friend is like, oh my God, he is so ugly, bro. She's like, I'm getting huge ick. She kept saying ick, bro. And the girl was so cut. She's like, I just don't see why you think he's so ugly. And she's like, oh, it's just everything, bro. He looks autistic as. His hair's all straight, bro. And then she's like, oh, like you can talk. And the bully chick was like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Calling your mate ugly. It's so good because she's roasting your crush.
It's so brutal. And
was-
also like so refreshing though as well. Because
Oh.
the amount of times you're like, yeah, I'd love to meet him in person.
Yeah.
And she's probably fucking scrambling
Yeah.
through his Instagram trying to find like
Yeah.
a decent photo.
Yeah, just have your mate be like, oh.
Yuck.
Yeah, she's like, he's a fucking looks like a fucking cunt, bro. and you know, in my mind, I'm building a mental image, and you know, I'm thinking maybe of some of my descent, maybe very Italian. These girls,
Yep.
or you know, Lebanese. That they had the voice,
Yep.
and much to my excitement, because the reveal, I'd been waiting. I couldn't turn around and laugh because I'm probably
Be
get
like, give me a
bashed.
fucking look, bro. Oh, no, she's right, man. This cunt is fucking ugly, bro.
Yeah, Nathan is busted, dude. He's
He's a
giving me
gronk, that
crazy.
cunt.
He's a gronk, bro.
Fucking gronk that cunt,
And then I
bro.
turn around to reveal, I reckon they were 14 max.
Oh my
The
God.
whitest looking girls. Like, one's a redhead with fucking freckles, the other's just blonde. And you're like, what has happened here?
I love that shit.
It's awesome. Yeah. Dead set, Mr. Jones is psycho, bro. Yeah, he's got a full restraining order. Yeah, because he said Jeremy, he asked if he was autistic to his face. You can't fucking do that, man. Yeah. And Mrs. Johnson said that she was going to make one of them her slave. And the other one's like, I don't think that's true. She's like, dead set. That's true. That's cap.
It's
I
also
was like,
so funny that there's like two boomers sitting there as well.
I
'Cause I feel
know.
like those like they like I don't know, like my grandparents and stuff like that. If they hear people talking like that, or like there's something about the younger generations, they are immediately like everything's going to shit. Like they can't enjoy it. Like they just freak the fuck out.
because they don't
Yeah.
understand every second word.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know what these girls are saying, but it sounds terrible.
I
Yes.
could just see in their eyes, like
They've probably
every Herald Sun headline being proven right in this moment. You know what I mean?
The
Like,
Melbourne
They're
gangs.
just like, yeah, the Ajax gang has taken over these white girls' bodies. Like, they've been indoctrinated into the Apex gang. Like, you could just tell the fear of these like country boomers. Like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
They
to the
probably got
world?
a 10-year-old girl at home.
Yeah,
being,
yeah.
Just freaking out. Being
Yeah.
Like, what school do we send her to?
Yeah, what,
Imagine Dutton like presenting like, remember when he freaked out about like the gangs in Melbourne, but it's just like 14-year-old girls on the tram being
Yeah.
rude.
Yeah.
They'll call you ugly.
Yeah. I mean, any teenage girls being rude on public transport really does trigger you back to high school being
It's
like,
so
"Oh,
wild."
the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah, getting bullied by a girl.
I had to teach improv at this school in like out of Swan Hill, and I don't like really know how to do improv that well, but it was like
Yeah.
a fair bit of money, and they're like, can you just, I was already doing this like other workshop thing, they're like, can you just go out there, it's all of year 9.
All of them.
All of them. 200.
They're
Hard
the worst
enough.
ones.
Hard enough when you got a group of them that have a mild interest.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
arts.
yeah.
Let alone
And I
all
think
of them.
immediately I was like, if any of you take part in this workshop, you will be bashed. So they all were just like standing up the back. Like that was the vibe. I didn't say that.
Yeah. That's you. And they're like, wow, she really doesn't know much about teaching improv.
If you do this, you are gay. Step forward.
Yeah.
I like almost immediately lost control of the classroom, and like the teachers like didn't give a fuck. Like I would be like, oh, I might need a bit of help, and he was like, and he went, well, you won't get it from me. And I was like, cool.
Yeah, that's
Right.
a cunt on his last
Yeah.
last leg.
He's
They
like,
were
yeah.
Any break, he's like, you take him.
Oh my god, it was so. And they were all on their phones, and I like knew that it was like gone when this like 15-year-old girl like winked at me and was like, "You like that, miss?" And I was like, "All right." And it wasn't like she wasn't trying to flirt; she was humiliating me.
Yeah, she was showing who held the power in that
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was her. And I was
Yeah.
like immediately
You're up there
coward.
shaking on a whiteboard being like, okay, guys, the rules of improv, crows, character, relationship.
I was like standing up there being like, you guys ever heard of yes and? And then it was like silent and this guy at the back going, nah. I was like, great, cool.
Okay.
Okay. But
It is awesome. It's like just what was the Swan Hill school gonna be the next theatre sports champs? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, crying out for a
give
theatre
him,
program.
give him some improv.
And they kept
lessons.
trying to be like, we like maybe like max 20 kids, and the teacher's like, yeah, you get them all.
Oh my god!
It's always year nines. They're so fucking
That,
feral.
that's notoriously
It is
the
the-
worst
Yeah.
grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always year 9 whenever you hear some story like
Truly. There's schools in Victoria where they'll just send them away for a year.
that.
Really?
Yeah.
What do
Oh,
they?
yeah,
Where
that-
do they send them?
Just to like rural Victoria to learn how to like fend for themselves. 'Cause
Right.
The
Yeah.
it's like super wealthy schools.
It's what is it, Timber Top or whatever?
Yeah.
And they just disperse them across the countryside.
Yeah.
And they just Well, it's that fucking one that Prince Charles and shit went to or something, right?
Did he do that?
I think some of the royals have done it.
Yeah.
Because you
I heard that.
ever have the joy of talking to really private school Melbourne guys. They let you know about it.
Oh
I
man,
love
That's
it.
and speaking of type of guys,
I've never
like
been
types of
fortunate
chicks.
enough to have the pleasure.
Yeah. I once worked a Melbourne Cup party thing
Yeah,
for some of
cool.
them. It was really bad. I mean, it was all right. I was like in it, like there's like car parks. Like if you have a really exclusive, you can sort of set up your own little party thing in one of the car park areas.
Yeah, I used to go to those.
Yeah, it's pretty
You're
good.
talking to one of the private school
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. and I know I was just
Type
like,
of fellas,
I mean,
type
I
of
was
chicks.
mostly just getting fucking hammered with them. Like I knew it was through my ex's friends or whatever.
Nice.
But yeah, I remember one of them, he thought he was so, like, you know when they're trying too hard to be rich, where you're almost like, I don't reckon you're that rich. I mean, like, rich, but it's like, you're not
Yeah.
as 1% as you think. And I just remember he had, like, a suit on, and it was like an esky with ice, and he had cufflinks on. And he's like, ooh, how does one... I'm like, oh my God. I had to like
Fuck
dip my
off.
hand in to get a bottle of champagne. And then he'd grab it and they'd be like so giddy to do the fucking saber thing, which is just so annoying. And just watching it shatter and they're like,
My cufflinks.
yeah, I was like, oh, fucking just, can you not? Can I just
Figure it
pop it
out.
like a human being?
Can you
Yeah.
just fucking grow up, mate.
It was awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how does one procure... Oh my God, can't.
It's so
Yeah.
fucking. It is weird. Like I feel like there was like in high school there were a lot of dudes who were like trying to prove how wealthy their families were and stuff like that, and then immediately when they left, everybody's denying their wealth.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was like such a hard flip, and I was
Yeah.
like, I know where you live.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very like Fitzroy Garage Party. That's
Yes.
a type of fella.
That's
That's
yeah,
a type of fella.
Well, at the time, and that offer is still open, Julian, Sebastian, Charlie, we'd love to get involved. And I'm just assuming that's their names.
I believed it because it's like fully their names.
We are not that far, you know. Zach's in Carlton North. We are close.
Yeah,
You ever
and-
want us there to
And we're
vibe
cool
with.
as shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, they would love to hang out with you
And
guys.
we'd love to get you on the pod, boys.
Yeah.
That would be an awesome just vibe in here.
Yeah, big time. We could bring the whole party.
Yeah, we'd have to take down the no vaping sign just to procure such cool guys.
Yeah. You have to
Replace
meet them
it.
halfway.
Gotta,
Yeah.
God, just begging the studio guys. We're gonna have to relax a bit because we got some of the coolest motherfuckers ever
coolest
on the pod.
guys.
Yeah, they said they might invite us to the next party. So
I saw on TikTok one of them just like doing a front to camera vid, and it was like, when you've just been nominated for TikTok of the year and your party is still making people furious, and it's just over one of those beats, probably Fred
Fuck
again,
that.
and just he's got the little earring, he's like doing the like whoops, and you're like, fuck yeah, the
Sorry
boys are
for
back,
being cool.
get him back in.
They got so mad as well that they became this meme. You could tell they're like, oh, we're all having a laugh, but like,
yeah.
maybe the joke's a bit old now.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
yeah.
time to move on.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's
Yeah.
still funny.
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
still so funny that they did that. And the song's like, can't do the work that we do. Someone's getting a haircut. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what the fuck is going on? And there's a guy like a fisherman's vest as well. It was incredible.
As they say, immaculate vibes, bro.
Immaculate. There's a new one as well of like a guy having a drink at a pub and he's like just chatting with mates, but it's like he's set up his phone.
I've seen that guy. That guy
Yes.
fucking rules. He's like all of his videos. He's just set up his phone and it's just him and the boys like fucking cracking a coldie or like
Fuck.
drinking a pint.
And he's
It's-
got like
I love
phone
that
and
stuff.
peripheral.
You know,
yeah. He always peeks
Yeah.
over to the phone. It's so fucking
fun.
funny.
That's awesome. You know, we're talking to some, all of us, we've famously loved to have a hang with your crew
Love
at a
it.
pub, and one of my favorite things, having a few laughs, setting up. I love to that's maybe one of the best parts of being at the pub, having a few laughs, sharing a few stories. Probably my favorite part, setting up the ring light in the corner.
Absolutely.
That's when you know it's a chill night with the lads.
Yeah.
When you're sort of putting on those tiny fucking little mics that they all wear on.
Yeah. Clipping road mics onto all your mates.
Yeah.
I just like can't imagine how many of those like boys have started podcasts with like, why don't we just have such good chats at the pub?
Oh,
Let's just
yeah.
like put a mic
Hey,
here.
now, come on. That's not always a bad idea. Sometimes that works.
No, it does. It
You know?
does work.
Sometimes
It
the
does
chats you have at the
work.
pub are worth recording
Yeah.
in a beautiful studio.
Yeah. These guys would do that. Though.
No, those
Yeah.
those guys probably couldn't do it.
Yeah, what do they talk about? Weirdos on TikTok and shit. Takes a special skill to do that sort of stuff. There's that. Fuck. Have you seen? It's very much inspired by these sort of guys. I think it's a Polo or Yves Saint Laurent ad in London. Have you seen that one?
No, what's
It's
going
fucking
on?
so good. It's like Soho, like London, the rich type of, and it's like these girls being like, should we see what the boys are up to? And then it calls and it's this like really jock dude, like they're holding footy boots, and he's like, hey girls, what are you up to? And they're like saying, oh, should we go gardens or whatever? And he's like, what are you doing, Johnny? He's like, I've just been tossing the pill around with Chugsy. And Chugsy's this little nugget guy that looks like me holding a footy. And I'm like, nah, look, there's nothing wrong with tossing the pill around with Chugsy, guys. It's just getting roasted alive on Twitter, being like, that feeling when you're tossing the pill with Chugsy. I'm like, in another life, I wrote this ad. Like, if I just kept doing marketing and being a private school guy, I wrote this ad and I was like, this is good stuff.
They're pretty bang on with like the weird nicknames and the like husky voice. Like that's
Yeah.
so like British, like made in Chelsea vibes. Like, yeah, Pookie and I went down to the park and we
Yeah,
thought
it's that
it's
vibe.
so unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like everything's so open. There's just like flies going in their mouths constantly.
Just tossing the pill around with Chugsy.
Ugh.
It's so good.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm just trying to think if there's one more, and this is like, okay. So I got back on Sunday from a wellness retreat with my mum.
Oh, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, hell
Now
yeah.
we're talking a few types of chicks
There's-
here.
Yeah, types of fellas who are chicks.
Types of fellas who are chicks there. And it was like, because my mum likes to go on these retreats and she was trying to sell it to me. She was always like, you would love it. Like, you just get to like tune out, blah, blah, blah. It's like fully an exercise camp. Like, you just go there, it's controlled portions and like yoga every morning and like and running. And it's just like all these like old middle-aged white women who just like hate themselves and it's relentless. And it's like breeding season, so anytime we were like having lunch outside, it was like
What does this mean?
it was just all these roos, just sexually assaulting. Like we were just witnessing like sex crimes.
I thought all these fucking bitches were horny at the
They're
wellness camp.
all on heat out of the wellness camp.
All synced
Scratching
up
at the walls.
fucking toey as.
But all of them were like, it was like the first couple of days were like, oh, maybe all these people, like ladies are here to like, I don't know, lose some weight or like get into yoga or some shit. But then it just like immediately, like, cause you have to socialize with them and like eat lunch together and like do all this stuff. They like really encourage it. And they were all fine, but like all of them, like I talked through like 3 different divorces.
Yeah.
There. And like this one chick was like, there were a few of them. I don't want to like dox her, but she was just like this classic like North Shore Sydney woman, and she was just like talking about. She's like, and I've got these. I've got Tim and Timmy that I'm seeing at the moment, and blah blah blah. Like just like rattling off everything that happened, and then talking about her husband and all this kind of stuff. And it was just this like whole other world that I'd sort of forgotten about from school, where it's these like these mums who are like housewives and stuff, but they're like, it's hard to explain, like Lululemon mums talking about, and they all get divorced in their 50s. Like the amount of people that I went to high school with whose parents got divorced as soon as they finished school, because it was like
just
so
holding
clear.
it together for the
they
kids.
just they just fucking hated each other.
Yeah, the secretary's got the fucking countdown
Yes.
clock. Like, you promised, you promised me, Jeremy.
Just hoping she doesn't age out.
Yeah. You got to time it well.
And there was one moment where this chick was like, oh, this is a classic. Look at this that I found on Instagram. I sent this to all my single girlfriends. This is so funny. And it was like when he's a selfish bastard and she thinks she's won the lottery. Both losers. And she was like dying of laughter. She's like, isn't that classic? She's like, I've said it to all my friends.
This is so real.
This is so specific.
It's like they read my mind.
And is the girl that won the lottery, is that supposed to be the second wife? Or?
Yeah. She thinks she's won it. Both losers. But that kind of leads me on
that's
to this.
exhilarating.
It's so great. There's this like empowered post-divorce like rich woman who's just like, it's like has their own brand of feminism, and sometimes they're just fucking nuts. Like there's this woman from Perth whose Instagram is called Dumped Wife's Revenge, and she has like really long red hair. All she does is like post videos of her in like cat suits, like kicking her legs really high and being like, Betty misses this. And like the other day she was like, it's been 5 years since we got a divorce. And I was like, girl.
So awesome. Do you reckon, I was having a look at her earlier.
Yeah.
Do you think she started this as actual like a revenge thing, and then like, you know, other lonely single women are like, yeah, this is awesome, I'll buy whatever you're selling, and now she's kind of...
And now she's stuck in that world.
Yeah.
Well, I actually think that most of the people who follow her are gay men.
That's quite
true.
the big crossover. That's the common denominator amongst all these people we've discussed.
If she like, it's like Countess Luann from Real Housewives of New York, you know, like if she had a cabaret, people would go, she would sell out, and like this chick, Countess Luann, cannot sing, and she's just constantly selling out huge rooms around America just because there's all these gay men just be like, you're awful. And she'll be like, get fucked. Like, keep singing.
Oh, God. What a great little... If you can just get in that pink dollar of gay men bullying you... I pray I can't be too far off. It's so awesome.
That like Azealia Banks world as well, where she's just like constantly calling people the F word.
Yeah,
like,
that was so exciting when she was going crazy about the Melbourne shows.
It was
She's
so
calling.
funny.
It's like whoever the people that brought out Azealia Banks for the Melbourne shows,
I
all
think
their
it was
stories.
Poof Doof.
Oh yeah, and she's like, just full of all you effing twinks. All you're doing is doing coke, not even putting on the fucking show. Just the vitriol. I'm toning it down, but yeah,
it was. It was so wild.
It was so good.
She had to go at Troye Sivan recently because he said that his pump up song is 212, which is, I think I would say like a compliment.
Yeah.
But she did not take it the right
It's a
way.
great pump up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, I've released new shit, bitch. It's like, that's awesome. Little.
She
little white twig bitch. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck
She's
yeah.
like, you're perpetuating pedophile culture. It's like, oh, Azealia, he likes the song. Relax.
Oh, shit. Well, we should probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
Get going. We're in here late in the studio, which very exciting stuff. We got in the studio. Zach's car broke down yesterday, so we missed out. You got that fixed?
I got it booked in. I drove it here, but I don't know how much longer I can
She's
keep.
hurting.
Yeah, it's fucking stressful, bro.
That's a great drive when you can just
Oh,
hear
yeah.
a car squealing away. You're like,
yeah, just fingers crossed.
What
I've
am I gonna
checked
do?
everything I know how to
Yeah.
check.
I opened the bonnet and I went, yeah.
It sounds worse when I open this.
Better keep that closed. Yeah.
It's
Um,
fucked.
But thank you for coming, Jordan.
Thank you for letting
Yes.
me gas bag about types of fellas who are chicks.
No,
It is so exciting to have our correspondent into the
Thank
the
you.
exciting, terrifying world of ladies.
of the girls and the gays.
the
Yeah.
girls and the gays.
Yeah, because we
And-
have a few gay guys pop up, but not like we're not very like deep into the gay world on social
Yeah.
media.
And you got to get deep.
Yeah,
You got to get
Yeah,
deep. Yeah.
So that's a part of it.
Yeah. It's very exciting. It was great to hear in from our correspondent. We loved it.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
And
Anytime.
And this is what this podcast is about. It's about learning. It's about growing.
It's about
It's
coming
about
together.
finding more annoying people, and they don't just have to be blokes.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
in fact be fellas who are chicks.
Yes, and that's the great thing to take away.
Did you want to plug anything before we get out of here, Jordan?
Nah, I reckon just follow me on social media.
Yeah.
jbar_666.
Yeah.
That's it. Hell yeah,
Fucking
devil.
Devil shit, man.
Yeah.
That's correct. That's hectic.
Nah, I'm a cool girl.
Yeah. Are you still doing your pod?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we will be.
A glowing endorsement for the Jordan's podcast
Yeah.
there, so get into
We've
that.
got a Sex and the City podcast and another. You'll find them. Just look
Yes.
it up. Figure it out.
Look it up. If that wet your whistle for this type of stuff,
Yeah.
she's going deep. Zach, you got anything to plug, mate?
No, if anyone knows any good mechanics in the Melbourne area,
Yeah, true.
please reach out.
That's fucked.
And do it for free as a favor.
Yeah, that's the other thing. By
you
good,
love the pod.
by good I mean cheap.
cheap.
You'll get a shout out.
Yeah. Wow, we'll do an entire podcast.
I'll get the cunt on this in this chair right here
Yeah, because I
for a
think,
look at it.
yeah, because I think we deserve to give a full episode to car guys.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
had an interesting run-in with a mechanic. We're at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Okay, it was very quick. But my car broke down like 3 months after I got a service, and the RACV guy came around, checked the oil, and like came around and was like, he goes like, a human cannot run without blood. And he was like, there is no oil in your car.
Did they not fill it back up?
No, they did, and I called them and was like, hey, so like my car has no oil in it, and he was like, that's really weird, isn't it? And I was like, so weird, that's crazy. And we're just like doing this dance and be like, oh, so random. He's like, well, like bring it in, like tow it here, we'll have a look, we'll figure it out. And then like came and picked it up the next day, and he was like, yeah, we've filled it up, don't know where it went. Yeah, he was like, no, couldn't find any leaks. So yeah, like I reckon talk to the manufacturer about it. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, do you want me to pay? He's like, nah, don't worry about payment. Like,
Yeah.
it was fully like he'd fucked up so clearly, but it was so funny. Us both just like, I think I was leaving for about 5 minutes, being like, so strange. He was like, oh, I don't know what's going on. It was
Fuck
beautiful.
yeah.
Oh, that's great.
exciting.
Well, thanks for coming down, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening, everybody at home or wherever you may be. Did you have anything going on, Hewy?
No, just follow us on social media, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Couple of shows left for the year, Coopers and one Crab Lab Christmas show. So come to those. But other than that,
Until next week.
keep 'em up.